We're back at the job this morning, and finally, we're not doing concrete forms. Thank God. I think we were all sick of that to the point where you didn't want to watch it anymore, and we didn't want to do it anymore. But it's done, and it turned out amazing, so I'm really thankful we did do it. Today, we got to start getting ready for our slab, and first off, we have to get some lines established around the bottom of our wall here on how high up we need to bring the gravel and the slab. We're going to match to the top of these forms, which are the top of our slab, so that we have a reference when we start putting gravel in. Right now we're checking about 10 different places on top of these form boards just to get an average, and that's what we'll mark on the wall.
That's it.
So if we call that neutral, we'll just say up or down however much. That may be like the lowest to the highest point. We don't know until we check a bunch of places. So right here, we're about a 1/4 inch high on our formwork. And we do have the option at this point to take a power plane and make our formwork totally flat. It is floating, but it's not going to go down that much.
No.
Do you want to take a power planer? And
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Maybe we should complete. No, we can't complete because we got to get a machine in here.
Yeah.
I think
this is the only high spot. Everywhere else is like within a 3/16 or so.
Okay, let's compare what we have here as an elevation, as our what we call our benchmark to, let's mark that line inside that door opening, because I have like a real tight tolerance for the door opening down. And if we need to change it up or down by a little bit, let's do that. All right, Rhino metal doors. Minimum rough opening height, 82 3/4. Maximum height, 83.
So I'm just going to mark 82 7/8 and see how close we are.
Yeah, do that, see what you got based on what you already referenced there. I hope that's about 8 inches off the floor.
Let me see that thing.
That's all I can say.
All right, there's what we marked.
So what's the difference here?
That's pretty close.
That is pretty close.
Oh man, it is 82 3/4. We're going around now and chalking a line here to represent the top edge of the slab. And then we'll pull down 4 inches and make another set of marks or mark, depending on what I decide to do here. I might just do this with a Sharpie, just dotted marks for the top edge of the gravel. So as we're putting it in, we got a hard reference to know where that is. We've got this all marked out now. And one thing we had to do if you're doing this for yourself is reset our laser to a different location so that we could shoot in and get these wall surfaces. Originally we had it like over here, and you can see that it just wasn't giving any reading on that. So pro tip there, you may have to do that. We did reset the reader on the stick because that's not exactly the same height as it was before. So just got to pay attention when you're doing this, because this is like the final elevation of our slab, which establishes a lot of other things in this build. We're using a Tajima chalk line here, and this is a bigger one than I use for framing. Like the string is just fatter and it's a bigger roll. And we just want a really high visibility on this, but it's not good for really fine work. This is a Chalkrite Dura 2, if you're wondering. Holds a lot more chalk and just it's a bigger, fatter line. We've got our first load of slab gravel coming in here. I think it'll take about 4 loads of this size truck of the washed 57 stone for under the slab. Luckily, we do have a skid steer, and Jamie went to get wheelbarrows to help us move it around and put it in there nice and level, nice and easy. That was a perfect dump.
Yeah.
If I ever saw one.
I mean, I've seen a lot of dumps, and that was pretty good.
AC on in here, bud?
It is.
All right.
I don't know how to turn it off.
There's AC in here?
Yeah.
What?
I tried to figure out how to turn it on and off, but I don't even know. Oh.
There you go. You're just like us now.
I just dumped the wheelbarrows full to the top by accident on that one.
Hey, hey. All right. Yo, check. Is this thing on or what? I think that room is supposed to be a safe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems more like a sauna. It's kind of like a sauna.
Sauna?
A sauna. It's like a room. It's really hot, kind of humid.
Sauna.
Sauna. That's what that is.
Why can't you say that word?
I don't know.
We've got the gravel put in the vault area now, and it probably look terrible having to do it with a wheelbarrow, but it's really not that bad when you have the machine to load the wheelbarrows. That's the hard part.
Yep.
We've shoveled them before. And
It is terrible to have to load each wheelbarrow with a shovel first.
Yeah, it takes 10 times longer. And this, when I filled it full, it did about 10 wheelbarrows full.
No way.
One bucket of that is 10 wheelbarrows. If that just gives you an idea how much faster using machinery is,
Yes.
like when you can.
Yeah, so the rest of it will be very fast compared to that.
We've got gravel out to this wall. It's the edge of our hallway going down, and we're gonna stop there because there's some slab plumbing that's under the slab and under this gravel that's gonna come out right here as our sewer outlet. It's gonna go through there and into the other half of the house. And we don't want the plumber to have to dig through that and mix a bunch of dirt and gravel together, waste the gravel, so we're gonna stop. Now, to the best of my knowledge, this gravel serves like 3 purposes here. One is just to give a flat base for the slab to pour on. It's pretty level, it's not a bunch of ups and downs, and it'll save concrete because we're not filling in a bunch of deep spots. And then secondly, it's gonna give like an area that's sort of hollow when it comes to water. Water can flow into the gaps between the gravel, a lot of it, and that'll keep like a static pressure of water from pushing up on the slab and wanting to push through it even. Now this isn't wet here, so I don't think that's gonna matter. Now around here, the third thing is radon gas. This is gonna give an area under the slab that if they want to put a pipe and pull a suction on this gravel layer, it'll pull the radon gas up and through that pipe, through the gravel and out the roof instead of up through the slab. Is there any load-bearing walls in this section?
Well, there's one tricky, not out in here in the middle. Our trusses are gonna clear span basically from this side to that concrete wall. Now, right where we're standing is sort of a spot we have to figure out because we can't have a truss strong enough to go from there to this wall.
Oh.
And there's about, a 6-foot gap here where we've got to incorporate a header, probably.
So there'll probably be a point load somewhere here.
Yes.
So we'll just have to dig the gravel out, make a thickened slab there. Is that what you're thinking?
I think so. But we have the truss engineers designing a beam or a girder truss that's going to carry that load. And so I need to kind of see what that looks like. But big picture right there, yes.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of point loads over there, wall loads that we're going to dig the gravel back out. Once we get it put in, dig it out in an area so that the concrete's thicker.
That's right.
It's
like
hard to leave. It's hard to leave gravel out, like leave a hole. It's easier to me to just put it in flat and dig the holes.
It's like digging a hole at the beach and it just keeps caving in. The sand just keeps pouring in. It's kind of like that.
This is the top of one of our columns where there's going to be an I-beam sitting on it. And I guess the concrete was a little dry as we poured it in and it didn't push under our foam completely. It left a void. So Jamie's going to prep this thing, I'm not sure how exactly, so that we can form it and pour some really high PSI concrete on here to fill it out flat again. A huge thanks to North One for sponsoring today's video.
North One is a business banking platform that integrates sales, payments, and budgeting.
To turn your North One account into a connected bank account.
North One customers have a 75% lower failure rate than the national average.
85% of North One customers demonstrate improved financial health.
And 82% of North One customers spend less time on their business finances.
And best of all, there are 0 monthly fees or minimum deposit required.
Mixing your personal and business banking like in one account can get super dicey around tax time. Nobody wants that. And it only takes 3 minutes to open up a North One account. There it is.
And North One gives you a fully FDIC insured bank account where you can send and withdraw cash, you can send ACH and wire transfers, and you can send and deposit paper checks.
How do you send checks? I don't get it.
You just input the information, like the address, the amount, and they'll literally put it in an envelope with a stamp on it and mail it to the people.
What? But don't you have to go to the bank?
No.
Wait, explain this again.
North One also has lending available.
Borrow what you need and only pay for what you use.
They also offer automatic bill payments, so you can save on manual time doing your bills. It's all done automatically, and you just have to tap to approve.
The best thing about the automatic payments is that you can schedule them right before they're due so that you can keep money in your bank account longer.
Smart.
You also get a physical debit card with your account.
North One also has some really cool integrations that allow you to connect to your accounting, e-commerce, and point of sale, so you get an overall picture of your business's finances. And a really cool feature that I like is envelopes. It allows you to save money without even thinking about it by setting aside certain percentages of your gross income to pay for things like rent or taxes at the end of the year. Make sure to save for that.
I like the sound of that.
Hey, thanks again to North One for sponsoring our video. Make sure to click the link down in our video description below the video to get started. And remember, you can get set up in as little as 3 minutes. Let's get back to work.
Thank you, North One.
A lot of times on the job site, we make mistakes on purpose so that we can demonstrate how to fix stuff for you. It's a good example right here. What I want to do is actually just kind of chip away any kind of semi-loose looking stuff and get it all down to bedrock. And then I'm gonna apply a special liquid that is an adhesion promoter, because this would be considered a cold joint, like pouring another pour on top of some dried concrete. So I'm just gonna chip away at it here for a minute. Not that I think it would really matter, but I like the idea of it being a flat thing that I pour solid, and then the pressure of all the weight of the structure is just pressing flat. It could never want to like slip and break those layers loose and have it slide. Smells like tile. Mud.
Gonna let that dry an hour, it says.
1 hour. I was just reading this stuff you can actually add as a polymer additive to your concrete that'll give it some kind of properties that will benefit this type of situation.
Plumber's here, and we need to locate this wall so he can start running these drain lines under the slab. Unfortunately, we changed everything here. Like, this is not a concrete wall at all. That stops here. And so we just did the math, 6'6" and a half, 2 7.5, 3.5 plus a 1/2 inch space plus an 8 inch. So this is 10 foot 2. Anyways, we just realized that was gonna be all screwed up if we just started putting stakes in the ground and pulling string lines the way it said. We're checking the next floor here to see if there's numbers coming this way that would matter for anything. The stairwell opening, of course, is the same size on both levels. Hopefully, it better be. There's something funky right here where they made this interior wall just line up with the stairwell, but then it left this space to the outside. It's like a dead space. But we didn't do that out of concrete, so I don't know how that's gonna work out now. We're seeing if we can unearth the sewer sleeve. Yeah, there it is. Got 2 string lines here, and these represent the bathroom side of these walls in the basement bathroom. So now the plumbing can be placed very accurately, and it'll go down and out right there.
Oh, good. Best time to call.
Wow, bless you.
Wow, did you fill it up in one shot there, Ray?
Almost.
It's really close.
It's really close.
Maybe just, yeah, swipe that around with your hammer there, Jono. See if you can get a little bit over to that far corner there. Or a trowel. We might have a trowel.
We're back on the job this morning. We're gonna get going bracing our forms that we have here for our slab. But first, we're gonna check out what Ray got in the mail. Legos. And this was something about you mentioning Legos on the channel.
Yeah, we were talking about Legos, and then I got a Walmart app notification about deals on Legos.
Okay, so the phone was listening to
Right.
you. They were listening to you. You can build your own state now.
I guess so.
So thanks to whoever sent this to Ray. These people also said to check out Walmart's tax records or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's something weird going on with Walmart that I don't know about. Check out their tax records, it says.
Yeah.
All right, well, something different every day. Our sewer line is coming up out of the ground here, and my plumber just told me something I never heard before, really. They're gonna do something called a bastard angle across here and come up in that wall. And I asked if that was a real plumbing term, and it is, evidently. If it's not an angle of a true form fitting, like a 45 or a 90, that's what it is. You ready to brace it up?
Let's brace it up.
Yep. So our plan is to brace these forms at the top edge, like every 4 feet down to some stakes. So we made them 2 by 2 because this ground is super hard, and I'm gonna put some super sharp points, like cutting all 4 sides on these, so that we have a chance at least to beat these in the ground without destroying them. Pretty good tip here to cut these stakes, and I've made the mistake over the years of not doing it this way and it making it harder, is to come in from the cut end of the board instead of trying to come in from the side, because the way the guards, the safety guards work on these circular saws, they don't want to like flip back if you're coming in at a really shallow angle. So that's definitely something that'll save you a lot of hassle. We're gonna shoot these braces on with something from Milwaukee that they sent us. It's a duplex nailer, which I've never seen. If you don't know what a duplex nail is, there it is. It has 2 heads. So the first head kind of stops at the wood surface, leaving this other one up so you can pull it out with a hammer later, mainly for like form work, which is what we're doing. So we're gonna give that a shot and see how it goes. You can see we're keeping all of these braces below the top of the slab. It'd be a lot easier to just like nail them to the top of this form board, but then when we go to finish the slab, it's gonna make it a lot more tricky to run our power trowel, whatever, on out to the edge. That's looking pretty nice and straight now. It was really wavy before. Obviously the bottom was straight because it's nailed to the slab to a chalk line, but the top edge was in and out and really wavy before these braces. Yo, Jamie, I just checked something here. Yeah. Finally, we never did do it. Check the top of our wall down to this level chalk line that we did for the slab.
Yes.
It's level, you know.
Yes, and?
Got good news.
What is it?
It's really good.
Really good?
Like
how good do you, I mean,
within a 1/4 inch from there.
Really?
All the way to there.
So in 100 feet, it's within a 1/4 inch.
200 feet
Nice.
of wall. That's a...
Oh, well, yeah, 200 feet of wall.
I'm actually shocked. So
Amazing.
the little level thing Jono did,
Yep.
like on the top form, that really
That was worth it.
dialed it, yeah.
Because we could have been, what, 3/4 out?
Yeah.
Probably. If we
I'm
didn't
actually
do that.
totally shocked. I'm not even pretending that I'm not.
That's as good as I could ever hope for.
Yeah.
You know, 1/4 is nothing in this amount
Yeah.
of distance.
Did you hear that, Jono?
Yeah, finally. Since Arlo's been gone, I got a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
was all me.
really good. I've got them before like this, where we had someone hired to do it, where it was like 2 to 3 inches.
Wow.
From one end to the other, different. So that's pretty stellar.
Good.
I think we should go home and celebrate.
I'm ready.
Or BCO.
Yeah.
Sounds good. It's hot.
Well, thanks for building with us. Just kidding. We got to keep working. Hope you know what's going on here, Adam, because this looks like total confusion to me.
Oh, there's nothing confusing about it. This is your average plumbing day.
All right. Getting close. Jamie's currently redrawing the plans here with the changes we made, like not having the masonry wall go all the way to here like it was on the original plan. And we're finding out some oddities about this plan. Like, we're not really sure if the walls drawn on the plan are a framing thickness, like 5.5, 3.5 inch walls, because they're not labeled anywhere. And some of them look like they have drywall surfaces drawn on them, and then like dimensioning to drywall surfaces or something crazy, but only on one side of the wall.
That's so they could come out with an even number, like 4 inches for a wall thickness.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Anyway, there's no quicker way to make Jamie mad than to draw a 4-inch wall when it's really 3.5.
Dude. No, we don't use 3-inch studs.
No.
And we don't make 4-inch walls. All right, well, I think that's good. So I got your 10'2" in here.
Yep,
10
that was the
foot.
dimension that we figured for the bathroom wall where there's plumbing.
See if I can actually get it to go 10-foot Haktua there. There we go, 10'2".
Yep. All right.
All right, you can't use that.
Yeah.
You can't use that.
I'm gonna use it. Well, we called it a wrap a little bit early today. We gotta let the plumber get more of his stuff done and dirt moved around and then inspected and covered up before we can bother putting much gravel in there. Otherwise, it's just gonna be taking way longer than it needs to. So we'll be back up there tomorrow. I'm gonna go cut the grass. It's really nice actually to get off, you know, mid-afternoon and get a few house things done. So thanks for building with us, and we'll be back at it in the morning.